Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial today in After Effects where I'm going to show you how to make some nice little sparkles using our Particle Systems 2 effect. So let's get started. First thing what we're going to do is we're obviously going to create a new composition. I'm going to call this one Sparkles and I'm going to make sure that it's at 1920 by 1080, 24 frames per second, and for now we're just going to give ourselves 10 seconds and hit OK. Now I'm actually going to demonstrate this as part of a little, I've got a little image here of a magician, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we might add some sparkles to the end of her wand. So I'm just going to position her over here. Looks really good. And what I'm going to do is now, I'm just going to add that. I'm going to add a new solid. So right mouse click down here, new solid. And I'm going to call this one Sparkle and hit OK. I'm going to make sure I drag that out to the back of it. And then I'm going to come over to my effects and presets on the right hand side here, and I'm going to type in the word particle. And what we want is we want CC Particle Systems 2, and I'm going to now drag this onto my solid layer. And immediately it's going to bring up this here in the right hand corner, and this is where we're going to have some fun. So I'm going to move this buffer, the blue buffer that I've got here, to where I can see some particles coming out. If you hit the space bar, you'll be able to see it as well. Now, obviously that is just way too much sparkle. So what I'm going to first do is I'm just going to change my birth rate because I don't really want that much there. So I might do maybe like 1.5 to start with. And I think I'll leave the longevity as it is, but I'll probably play around with this later. When it comes to my producer, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it because I want this emitter here really kind of like at the tip of the wand, which is right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play around with these. Obviously, I'm going to move it up by left mouse clicking and dragging. And then I'm going to move this one to about, yeah, I might move it down a little bit more. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So, I mean, obviously for any project that you're using, you can place it anywhere you like. I'm going to leave the radius at 3 for now. I might change it a little later. And I'm going to come down into my physics. Now, this is where you get to have a bit more fun in physics and in particle. This is where you're just free to explore and play. But at the moment, we've got explosive, which is what we can see here. You can do fractal explosive. You can do like a little twirl, which kind of looks cool. There's all these other little ones. I actually kind of like, I kind of like the fire one, but I'm not going to use that today. But for now, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use the directional one. And this, because I want it to come out of here. I don't so much want too much on my character. I want it to kind of pop out over this little area here. So I'm going to choose direction. I'm probably going to change my velocity a little bit. Maybe around, yeah, let's play with it for there for now. I'm going to change my gravity a little bit. And I'm going to change my direction a little bit. That looks good. And I'm now going to come into my particles, and this is where you can change how this looks instead of these lines. So you can choose things like stars, you can choose bubbles, they've got like faded spheres, and there's cubes. This is where you can really have a lot of fun. But what we're going to do is we're going to choose stars. And now this is where we're gonna have some more fun with the stars. Like they're actually really big right now. I don't want them that big. So I'm gonna change my birth size to 0 so that when they first start, they're really, really tiny. And then my death size, so once they're finished, I'm actually gonna bring that down as well. So I don't want it too big. So maybe somewhere around there. That's good. And then my size variation, I'm going to leave it at 100%. I'm probably going to change these colors so I can come in here so when they're first born, they're yellow, which I'm actually quite happy with. But when they die, maybe they can be more of like a pinkish purple color. Let's have a look. Yeah, maybe like a purpley color. And if I press play, it kind of looks like this right now. So what I'm now going to come back into is I'm going to have a look at my physics, and I'm going to change maybe my velocity a little bit, bring that down. I'm going to maybe bring my gravity a little bit down more to maybe a 0.2. I'm going to give it some resistance so it's a little bit closer, as you can see. And I think I've changed the direction just that a little bit more. Play around. And then I think my birth rate I'm going to bring down because there's too many sparkles here. And then I might change my longevity as well. So they last a bit longer. Something like that, actually. That's really pretty. And so now that I've kind of got that, sometimes like if you've got, say, if I increase this longevity and it's out a lot further, and you want to refine it so that it stays, say, within a little circle. So the best thing that you can do here is actually what you can do is you can create a mask over it. And so what I'm going to do is you're going to select the sparkle layer, right mouse click, and you want to select pre-compose. Call this sparkles. And then you want to make sure that you're moving all the attributes into a new composition. And let's not open the new composition and then select OK. And so now what you can see is it's created that now as its own composition. You can still go into the composition by double clicking and playing around with the particles if you still want to play around with the particles. But what we're going to do now is I want to create a little mask over this so that it only sparkles in a little circle. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that this pre-composed layer is selected. I'm going to come up to my shapes and select my ellipse tool. And I'm just going to make sure that there's this little, you can kind of see there's a box with a circle in it on my mouser. If you've got that, it means that you're in mask mode. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select it and drag and drop, and maybe my sparkles are only going to come around here. I can hit V on my keyboard and I can move my mask if I want to into the right spot, which I think will be about here. Now, if I click off it, that's what it's going to look like. It's going to look like this, but you can really see this hard edge around it. And I don't really want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into my mask, and we're going to come down to our feather. And we're just going to give it a bit of feather around. And I might do about 150, 155. Have a look at that. And that's beautiful. And so now you can play around with how long you want it to go for. Say you only want the sparkles to go for a little bit of time and then fade off. You can adjust your layer here. You can adjust the layer. And then when it comes to about here, what you can do is you can just go back to your effects, add a fade on and off. Let's do frames and have a look. It'll fade out. Have a look. Let's have a look at this one. There you go. You can make that faster as well by just coming in here. And well, it obviously doesn't need to fade in, but let's change the fade out to maybe 5 frames. So it'll be a lot quicker. And let's have a little look. And that's perfect. And so once you've done, all you have to do now is render it out and you've got your pretty little sparkle effect. So I hope you've really enjoyed this. Definitely go into it, play around with your effects and sparkles, see what looks good. You could probably duplicate that layer a few times if you want some extra colored sparkles in there. And I really hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe my videos and I look forward to making some more for you guys. So have fun till then.